In addition to that, our STEM area downstairs, which is near our auto shops and wood shops, this area was not touched during the 2001 referendum. So we would look to open it up. Currently it's an entire hallway near locker rooms and such. We would open up the hallway and create classroom space in there, so it'd almost be a STEM wing to create more collaboration spaces and invest into our science and technology areas. For anybody that maybe followed the news last year, when the high school was constructed in 1956, we didn't plan for any spaces for weight rooms. I don't know if anybody ever did. So our weight program continued to grow over the years to phenomenal numbers. So much so that we were actually having Olympic teams coming to visit our weight program because it was so great. However, the floor started to cave in, so we had to relocate the weight program to another end of the school on grade and displace a couple other programs. So we would also propose for one of the displaced programs, creating a larger space within their current situation, which is also a STEM classroom that would give them more collaboration space as well. Some other things that we took heavy considerations were the high school swimming pool. Our swimming pool was constructed in the late 50s, and the pool liner itself is really compromised at this point. Some interesting things about our pool: we have very limited deck space. So this is where the team sits, and this is about 4 to 5 feet across. These are the locker rooms where folks come out, or students come out right onto the pool deck, just feet away from the pool itself, and this continues all the way around. We do have seating space over here, not pictured, that seats about 200 people. When we have an event, they can be seated, but not nearly large enough to host a large event if we wanted to have a competition. Usually you have 600 to 800 seating capacity for a competition space. In addition, our pool liner here, all the way throughout the pool, is severely compromised. It's well over 25 years old, and during last spring, we experienced a leak where we lost like 10,000 gallons of water overnight, so we came in and it was down like 5 feet. We were able to make that repair, but those are just things that we're going to have to continue to prepare for because the liner is compromised. The cost to replace just the liner is about $250,000, and we're not sure what we're going to find once we pull that liner up, given the shell is well over 50 years old as well. In addition to that, one of the considerations that we have to think of, currently our diving program is grandfathered into old standards, so we're allowed to keep maintaining our diving program. But the graduated depth, according to new diving standards, is too close to the diving board. So students jumping off, it is not a risk at this point, but it's not current code. So if the diving board ever went down, we would have to cancel our diving program because nobody will repair or replace that diving board with the current code requirements. In addition to that, most of the pools in the state now are 8 lanes, and we have 6 lanes, and our lanes are rather tight as well. This is the pool liner throughout the gutter system. One of the proposed solutions, this is totally conceptual, would be to move south of the building. So this is currently where the pool well is, to move it south. So you would enter into more of a restroom, locker room, bleacher area, and then the pool well would reside south. There's tons of conceptuals that we were trying to work around within the current box that we're working with, and we think we've got some pretty good solutions. In addition to that, we looked at high school athletic, the outdoor facilities. And one thing that might be of interest to this crowd is that we talked about every time we host an event, you know, a football game could draw thousands of people to an event, a swim meet, thousands of people. They're visiting gas stations, they're visiting local restaurants, and everybody is flooded with business as these people come in to visit our facilities for all of these programs. One of them was to look to add bleacher capacity to our football stadium. Currently in our conference, which is highly competitive, we have the least seating capacity. Usually when we host a large game, we have calls from the athletic director of the other team saying we didn't have enough seating for our teams. So that's one thing we're up against. We have no public restrooms around the football stadium, so we have a lot of angry ladies that visit our games. Artificial turf, which might seem like a big want versus a need, but we put thousands and thousands of dollars into our grass field, and we only allow our varsity and junior varsity teams to play on it. It has really relatively no FIED use, no relative educational use, The band program would love to practice on it, and tons of community groups, the Junior Warriors, would love to use if we had turf, to be able to utilize it. So from a utilization standpoint, it would get tons more use and probably cost a lot less to upkeep as far as water, seeding, aerating, and all that stuff that goes along with the football field. We'd also ask to create ADA paths to our fields. So a lot of our diamonds, specifically softball, doesn't have sidewalks going to it, so some of our community members aren't able to access that if they have a wheelchair. We would like to improve seating at our tennis courts as well, and resurface our tennis courts and track. So this is a football game. This is one of our normal football games where all the way around the stadium we have spectators just about all the way around, and then our stands are completely full too. These are our tennis courts. Currently the tennis courts are losing their surfacing material, so we are due to resurface them. What happens when these pools get low in the tennis courts is it creates an algae surface almost, so it becomes a slip hazard to the players. And our track is balding around the football stadium. A lot of these things link together. We wouldn't want to do a project to our football stadium without considering our track first, because that may also be impacted by if we did turf. And this is our athletic complex as a whole. I think we can all agree we're very blessed as a community to have such an amazing facility with baseball diamonds, 3 soccer fields, football stadium, practice fields, tennis courts, and our softball diamonds.
So, and we're looking forward to our continued partnership with the city as well.